Okay, so let's take a look at our Fusion 360. So this is basically just another parametric modeling software, very similar to using SolidWorks or Inventor, Mechanical Desktop, some of those former tools that you may have used in the past. And it's all based on the idea of we just make a model. We make a shape, then we add these sizes, these parameters to it, so that if there's ever any need for modifications, it's real easy to go back and make modifications to the parameters, and then the drawings are updated to go with that. We add constraints to our drawings, so you will see similar information as far as adding dimension constraints, constraints as far as staying perpendicular, parallel, tangent, locked to certain points. Those sorts of things will all be the same as we go through. So this is your Fusion 360 platform in front of you here. The overall screen looks very similar to what we've been using in our other software. You have your drawing area. There's already a grid situated on the screen. You have an x-axis that's shown up in red. You have a y-axis that's shown up in green. If you look at the view cube, you have a blue line that's representing Z, and as you use your different viewing options, you will see all of those different colors just to keep you grounded in the direction. Because you'll notice that we no longer have a user coordinate system icon sitting around on our screen to keep you knowing whether you're going positive, X, Y, or Z. In the very center of all of those where they intersect is going to still be the origin point. So if you're not familiar with the view cube, this is the view cube, and it allows you to navigate back to their home angle. You can view your objects directly from the top. So if you're trying to create a shape before you make it a 3D, most of the time you'll end up in a top or front or side view, creating that overall shape and then adding the parameters to that. Then we go in and add our specific features for solid surfaces and so forth. So that's what the view cube is going to be allowing you to do, is to create those rotations of your object to create your drawings. On the left, we still have what we call our feature tree. So it's going to have an area for document settings, the types of units that we're working in, and the capability to modify those units. So if your drawing's not in inches and you need it to be in metric, you can simply pick out the options from this list and then apply those. You have named views, so you already have top, front, right, and then home. So those are the three that I've been working on over there, so that's what we've got listed here. That's our standard viewing anyway. Most objects we use a front, right side, and a top view to explain all of the information about the drawing. Also shows you your origin point, gives you all that information, and you can modify those as well. Across the top you have your basic panels for files, open, new design, new drawing, save, those sorts of things. You also have a 3D print option, which converts what you have to a stereolithography file, so it makes it quicker for 3D printing. You also have your save here. You have an undo and a redo option. So you have a whole panel here for creating things that you're going to create. So components, you can make it by 2D sketches. You can use your extruding, revolve, sweep to get the various shapes from those 2D sketches. We can add holes, we can add threads. We also have already 3D model tools, so a box, cylinder, sphere, very common information in those as well. We have patterns, so we can create arrays. So if we had a series of holes drilled into the top of a part that went in, let's say there were 6 of them around a bolt circle size, that's what we're talking about, is creating patterns. We can use our mirror and several others that we will get into. Then you'll notice that you also have those same icons showing up on top that are quick to get to whatever it is you're trying to create. So you can open them in that manner. You've got your modify tools, so we can make something press and pull, so larger or smaller after an extrusion, fillet things, chamfer, create shells, drafts, scale. Again, all the same basic things. Move, copy, align. Here's our delete, erase, whatever you want to call that. We can create assemblies, so we'll be able to join 3D model parts together. We'll be able to add constructs to our drawing. So if we need an axis or a point, things like that, they call them construct tools here. We call those reference features in parametric modeling in like SolidWorks and Inventor, but they're the basic same thing. So we can create planes, axis, points. You have an inspect again, so you can take and measure objects if you need to do that. We have where we can insert different information, drawings, pictures, meshes, different pieces, and then we have select tools. That's just your basic solids. Then you have a whole different panel for creating surfaces, creating sheet metal. Then you have another whole panel for different tools. So hopefully we'll be able to get through all of those, but that's just your basic screen layout. So we end up starting back on solid. We can go ahead and save a name, but your first exercise that you're working on, just familiarizing yourself with the tools, where they're located, but within your textbook, you're basically going to be kind of working through rough sketches that they're going to provide to you in the textbook. They're going to talk about the constraints that are added, and we'll look through those as well. But this is just your basics. On the bottom of your screen, you have an orbit tool. We have the ability to look at it from a specific angle. You have your pan feature, which allows you to slide things sideways, up and down on your screen. You've got your zoom features. You've got display settings, so if you wanted to change anything about your display, you have your grid and snap settings, and then you can create viewports, which viewports are really nice because you can have your front, top, right side, and an isometric all on your screen at one time. And as you're drawing in one, you see it occurring in the other. So you can tell when you're creating something if you're going in the wrong direction, or you have not got the good handle on where's X, Y, and Z in positioning.